Hey everyone, it's me, BDB, and we are back here with Danganronpa. We are going to start the class trial. Last time we found out Kyoko is actually still alive. And Mukuro Ikusaba, could she be dead? Was she the mastermind, or is she still the mastermind? Let's go down and find out more. Being the last one left, I stepped into the elevator. And the door slid shut. This time, the clunking was loud enough to hurt my ears, and the dread began to consume me once again. I can't imagine ever getting used to the mental pressure that comes with preparing for an execution. In that dusky darkness, nobody said a word. We just stood there, silent and still. After an unmeasurable period of time, doors opened without warning. A dazzling light penetrated every depth of my eyes, but it wasn't the illuminating light of hope. It was the blinding light of despair.
I can't wait! I can't wait!
I've been waiting for this. I feel like it's been forever since we got together like this. The time for pointless jokes and doubts has passed.
Chills!
Let's get on with the show. Until the curtain opened for the fifth time, deadly judgment, deception, betrayal, riddle, depends, face, a deadly class trial. Yep. Close to the 30th slot. Open the e-handbook. No, that's not what I wanted. It's set skills, since we now have an extra skill to put on. Ambidextrous allows you to lock onto two statements at once, effective during the bullet time battle. Okay. Well, that's it. Let's get going.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. If you can figure it, I'll punish everyone. Okay, well, I'll leave the rest up to you.
Well then, let's discuss the specifics of the victim. First, we need to clarify who exactly the unidentified victim is.
It's Kyoko! There's no other explanation.
Oh my god.
But Kyoko's standing right there.
No! That's a ghost!
No, it's not.
But she has legs and stuff.
Well, that's just because she's like the latest evolution in ghost technology!
There's a limit to how much ridiculousness I can tolerate.
Yes,
okay. So I just have to prove that the corpse isn't Kyoko, right? Then let's compare Kyoko's traits to the traits of the dead body.
Her traits?
One important trait that Kyoko has that proves the body doesn't belong to her. Kyoko's gloves.
I got it! I'm talking about her gloves. They'll give us some insight into the mystery. I'm sure of it.
In that case, I think it would be helpful if someone explained why she actually wears those gloves.
And would you happen to know the answer?
In fact, Monokuma told me. Apparently you have scars on your hands you don't want anyone to see.
Oh, you know, now that I think about it, the corpse wasn't wearing any gloves, right?
They probably just got burnt up in the explosion.
Before that,
I'm not convinced. The ghost is just trying to fool us all.
Oh my god. There's no way that corpse is Kyoko, but if I can't prove why, we're going to be stuck here and the case won't move forward. So I don't have any choice but to... God, are you serious? Make your argument! Tattoo on the right hand, exploded body, now straight nails.
That Kyoko there is just a ghost.
Impossible.
Okay, then prove it. Prove she's not a ghost.
The dead body wasn't wearing gloves.
They got burnt up in the explosion.
Then she was wearing gloves before the explosion.
There you go.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves. Because that corpse is absolutely Kyoko.
Right.
This entire discussion is idiotic.
Fake nails, I would definitely stop it.
Kyoko. Okay, then prove
The dead body
they got burnt up.
Then she was wearing gloves before.
Well, yeah, she must have been wearing gloves. Because
That corpse is... This entire discussion is idiotic.
What do you say here? I know that body is in Kyoko's, and I can know how I can prove it. Go over and just like,
Okay.
touch her.
The dead
Touch
body.
her shoulder.
They got burnt up.
Then she was wearing gloves.
Well, yeah. She must have been wearing gloves.
Whoa.
No, it's wrong. No, there's no way the corpse was wearing gloves. Whoever it was, they were wearing fake nails, remember? I imagine trying to wear gloves over nails like that would have been a pretty big pain. Besides, Kyoko wears gloves to hide her hands, right? It'd be pretty weird for someone who's self-conscious about their hands to wear fake nails, don't you think?
Jeez, man, you don't know women, huh? They're complicated like that.
If anyone doesn't know women, it's you.
Well, Kyoko, any thoughts?
These gloves were custom made to the size of my hands to make sure they don't interfere with my daily life. If I wore fake nails, the gloves wouldn't fit properly.
Then that's that. The dead body doesn't belong to Kyoko.
Which should have been obvious since she's standing right here.
Okay, so then, who's the real victim? First, we need to figure that out.
That's the first thing I said. You're the one who's been dragging us around in circles.
Before anything, we have to identify the victim. Everything starts from there. Okay.
If Kyoko really is still alive, then who died?
There's gotta be some way to figure it out. I don't think so. The face was scorched beyond recognition. And there wasn't any description in the Monokuma file. Well, if we can't identify the body...
Then there's nothing else we can do, right?
And the one thing that can tell us, was any victim's own body, right? So it's tattoo.
Kyoko really is still alive. Then who died?
There's gotta be some way to figure... I don't think so. The face was scorched and there wasn't any description. Oh, if we can't identify the...
Boom!
No, it's wrong. There was one clue left behind that we can use to identify the body.
And that is...
For real?
For real!
Ryan will die a cruel and unusual death.
Cruel and unusual death. This I gotta see.
She's just being stupid. Ignore them, Mikoto. Tell us what you're talking about.
The key to figuring out who it was is the tattoo on the back of her hand.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah. The design's pretty strange, huh? Her master must have made her get it. To be like, you're my bitch.
Seriously? They really did something that humiliating?
No, that's not it. The identity of the victim is hidden within that tattoo.
Oh, really?
Really. If you compare the tattoo to other information, we have the victim's identity to become clear. See near the end. Yep.
I got it!
Profile.
The Fenrir Mercenary Corps. That's the name of the military group Mukuro Ikusaba belonged to.
Okay, so...
To show that they're a member of the team, each soldier that joins the squad would get a tattoo representing Fenrir somewhere on their body.
Fenrir?
The image that represents Fenrir is... Don't tell me I can type it like a freaking Siberian wolf or whatever. Just wolf, right? Wolf. What? Just W and F. I'm gonna take this job. And yeah. Boom.
Now I understand.
5.4 seconds.
The representation of Fenrir is a wolf.
Fenrir, the Wolf of Ragnarok. It's from Norse mythology. A huge, world-ending wolf race. He's the child of the trickster god Loki, and a female giant.
Man, after all this time, we finally got a glimpse of the literary all-star.
A wolf tattoo. And that means...
Exactly. The body we found had a tattoo of a wolf.
Yeah.
Which means that person must have once belonged to Fenrir. So it must have been Mukuro.
What?
Well, hold on. Isn't she the one that was behind this whole thing?
You sound surprised, but you're absolutely right. Yes, indeed. The trial this time is to solve the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba.
Are you saying the mastermind is dead? And now we have to have a cool last trial?
No. It means we were wrong in thinking that Mukuro was the mastermind at all.
But I mean, being the ultimate despair seems like a pretty mastermindy title to me.
Maybe we shouldn't have been thinking of her as the ultimate despair in the first place.
Indeed.
After all, looking at her profile, I didn't see anything that would fit such a description.
No, she's the ultimate
All
soldier.
it said was that she was the ultimate soldier. If I remember correctly, that other information came from Kyoko. That's what you told Mikoto, right?
So that means Kyoko got it wrong?
No, she just misled the
Who was she?
information.
Who was Mukuro Ikusaba? She's been gone this whole time? And when she finally turns up, she gets killed. Usually when there's a scene where an important character dies, it has a lot more detail.
So you're saying she wasn't an important character? Which would mean she was the same as us. Just another participant.
Yep.
Then who's the real mastermind?
It must have been the Hope's Peak Academy headmaster after all.
No, the headmaster has nothing to do with it.
But how can we trust that? We already know your information about Mukuro was wrong.
My information was not wrong.
Okay.
Very
We're in
defensive.
the middle of a trial right now. Figuring out who killed Mukuro is first and foremost. Please limit all future prattle, chatter, and chit-chat as much as possible.
Fine. Uncovering the identity of the mastermind will have to wait. But remember this, no matter what happens, we will find out who you really are. I stake my family name on it.
The Togami
I have
family name.
officially decided to completely ignore all such attempts at provocation. Now then, just so nobody's confused, let me state this one more time for the record. The reason we're having a class trial is because a murder among the students has taken place. Hammer that point straight into your big ol' brains!
What you're saying is that both the victim and the culprit are part of the student body?
Then, one of us killed Mukuro?
Wait, no! There's a chance that there's some mystery 17th person who's been hiding all along!
Nope! There are only 16 students in total that have been taking part in these events.
Seriously? Then one of us killed Mukuro?
Dude, keep up.
Did it? Who's the killer this time?
Get a hold of yourself. We've already narrowed down the list of possible suspects.
Yeah, Kyoko and Mikoto.
I'm sure you realize who I'm talking about, right, Mikoto? Who the evidence points to?
Based on what we know, there can only be two suspects, Mikoto and Kyoko.
You've narrowed it down to Kyoko and me, right?
Why do you say that?
Allow me to explain. Just after nighttime last night, I went to the garden, so I can confirm that at that point, there was no dead body there. So, the murder must have taken place after I left the garden. However, Hiro, Toko, Hina, and I were in the gym the entire time.
The gym?
That's right. The four of us were there trying to dismantle Monokuma. The whole time, we were very careful not to go anywhere alone. We even went to the bathroom in pairs. All of which is to say, the four of us all have alibis. The only ones without alibis
Are me and Mikoto. That's why you're able to narrow down the list of suspects.
You got it.
exactly so.
So the only suspects now are me and Kyoko. Damn it, I can't let this stand. Somehow I have to terminate.
I have something I'd like to say regarding the whole alibi thing.
Are you thinking of raising an objection?
Well, before that, I just want to try and get a better idea of what time the murder took place. Doing that might reveal some kind of clue.
Whatever you want. Somebody go ahead and help him out.
Me and Byakuya can both confirm that the body wasn't in the garden at, well, it was after nighttime for sure. I'd say it must have been around 10 o'clock. So the murder must have happened after 10 p.m.
Then I guess we can say the time frame for the murder was between then and when we found the body? Oh, but what time did we find the body?
No, Toko found it
The
around
one who
9.
saw the body first was Toko, right? And she went to go get the pickaxe.
What time was the body discovered? At 9 o'clock.
The body must have been discovered at 9 a.m., since that's when Toko went to get the pickaxe.
No, then Toko time is just, well, he left the gym, it was just, you know all already.
He's right. It had to be around then.
So we can be totally sure the murder happened sometime between 10 at night and 9 in the morning.
For me, I was already asleep before nighttime hit, so I don't have an alibi after 10 o'clock. But I'm sure I met up with everyone else before 9 this morning.
We ran into each other in the dining hall, right? That was around... Oh, yeah! Right around 7:30. I remember checking right before I went in, so I'm totally sure about it.
Which means from 10 p.m. to 7:30 a.m., you don't have an alibi.
The murder happened between 10 p.m. and 9 a.m., and I don't have an alibi from 10 p.m. to 7:30 a.m. Okay then, it looks like the game has begun. If I can't provide an alibi for that period, then I just have to prove the murder didn't happen during the time I don't have an alibi. To do that, I have to make it clear when the body ended up in the garden. Can he do it? Can he prove his innocence? Sprinklers explode the body on us, fragments near the dead body.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night and 9 o'clock in the morning.
That looks like a shoot.
And Mikoto doesn't have an alibi for most of that time.
Yeah, from 10 o'clock
Oh,
to
wow.
7:30.
That's more than enough time to commit murder, I should think. So Mikoto, if you have any objections, now would be the time.
There's something that happens in the garden at the same time every morning. Thinking back, of course, is almost right. In which case, I should be able to figure out when the body must have appeared in the garden.
We've established a time frame for the murder. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock and 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, and Mikoto...
Yeah, from 10 to 7:30.
Shoot!
We've established a time. It took place somewhere between 10 o'clock at night.
No, it's wrong! Actually, the murder couldn't have happened anywhere near 10 o'clock. It had to have taken place way later.
And what makes you say that?
Because of the sprinklers in the garden. The sprinklers are set to go off right at 7:30 every morning, right? So if the body had been in the garden before 7:30, then it should have been completely soaked.
Oh, hold on! I remember this part perfectly. The body was wet. Dripping wet, in fact.
Sorry, Toko, but you're wrong.
I'm wrong? How? Are you saying only the mouth down south was wet? How dare you spew such indecent words!
I'm saying that the body was wet, but not because of the sprinklers.
What do you mean? By denying the sprinkler, are you trying to deny my entire existence?
Man, you're totally wacko.
If you really think it wasn't the sprinkler, you'd better tell us why!
Need to prove that it wasn't Sprinkler that got the body wet. All I have to do is hit Toko with certain evidence and that should do it. If you look at the body itself, that should make it clear. Really? We gotta do this? Can't I just say it to her? Oh my god, are you serious?
I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! I don't know anything! Hold on! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! I don't know anything!
Shut up.
Hold on! Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. Are you trying to blame me? I admit nothing. I hate you. No, no, no! I don't know anything!
Uh-huh.
Hold on! How can you say it was
This should prove it. Just remember what the body was like after the explosion, and you'll see why it wasn't the sprinklers.
Why not just say it?
Top half of the body
that part
was
didn't make
wet,
sense.
yes, but the bottom half was completely dry. If the sprinklers got the body wet, shouldn't the whole body have been wet?
So they only got the top wet? The bottom was completely dry? What a brutal maniac!
I'm so sick of her.
Let's just move on. The reason only the top half was wet was because
we put it in water.
while the body was still on fire, I doused it with water. But
Doesn't make the top out.
Then I guess the sprinklers really didn't do it.
so if the sprinklers didn't get the body wet, then the murder must have taken place
No, you're wrong.
sometime after the sprinklers turned on at 7:30 in the morning.
Which means she must have been killed sometime between then and when the body was discovered at 9.
But Mikoto's alibi was only missing from 10 o'clock last night to 7:30 this morning, right?
Kyoko's gonna stop
So
this.
there's no way Mikoto could have done it. I guess you had an alibi after all. Good for you.
Here comes
In which
Kyoko.
case, the only one left without an alibi is Kyoko.
Kyoko's the only one without an alibi, which would mean that Mukuro's killer is... No, I refuse to believe it. Kyoko murdered
I'd just
someone?
like to say
That's-
one thing. If you vote for me and I die here, the mystery of this school will stay hidden forever. Which is why I can't let that happen.
So
Huh?
are you saying you're not the culprit?
Of course I'm not. I have no reason to kill anyone. This is a trap the mastermind has laid for us.
A trap?
We're this far into the game and now you decide to blame me?
They've been blaming you from the
Stop
start,
wasting
man.
time! Stop wasting energy! You really think your little trick is gonna work?
Shut up, you!
You got it, boss! Shutting up now!
Anyway, Kyoko, you actually did have a reason to kill her.
Huh? She did?
She thought Mukuro was the ultimate despair. In other words, the mastermind behind everything. So she killed her to try and put a stop to all this. Isn't that right, Kyoko? But you made one catastrophic mistake. Mukuro wasn't the mastermind at all. And as a result, we were forced into another trial. Something I'm sure you weren't at all expecting.
So, that was her motive?
Yeah, good reason.
She had a motive and no alibi. Well then, I think it's pretty clear Kyoko's gotta be the culprit.
I'm not the only one without an alibi. Makoto's explanation is still insufficient.
She's dragging me down, Mikoto.
The sprinklers didn't get the body wet, but that doesn't mean the murder happened when he said it did.
What are you...
Because you see, there is a way the body could have avoided getting wet.
Interesting. I'm listening.
All it would
The white
take
tarp.
was covering the body with a certain something to keep it from getting wet.
A certain something at the scene was used to cover the body. Could it have been? The tarp. How could you have forgotten the
You're
culprit?
talking about the tarp, aren't you?
You catch on quick. You're right. All you'd have to do is cover the body with the tarp, and that'd take care of the water. In fact, that's exactly what the killer did. The dirt pattern on the tarp can attest to that. Only one side of the tarp got dirty, because that's the side that got covered in water. The side that faced down over the body, meanwhile, kept perfectly clean. This proves that the killer used the tarp to keep the body from getting soaked.
But why would they go to all that effort just to keep the body from getting wet?
Most likely so they could cloud the issue of when the murder actually took place. In other words, to create an excuse exactly like the one Mikoto just
Oh,
gave
she's
us.
really bringing him down. Why would Kyoko say that? Why would she want to make me look like a killer? No, I can't think about that right now. That tarp. If it was used the way Kyoko said, the tarp must have touched the body, right? But the body.
Wait. Something's not right.
And what might that be?
I can't worry about Kyoko's motivations. If I don't do something, everyone's gonna think I'm the killer. I have to refute what Kyoko said. Body before the explosion. Yeah, I said body before the explosion.
By
So.
covering the body with the tarp, the killer prevented it from getting wet.
So the reason the tarp was only dirty on one side was because the sprinkler got that side wet.
But the underside of the tarp, it was totally spotless, right?
It's because that side was protected from the water. Since it was facing down toward the body, of course it didn't get dirty.
Gosh darn it!
By covering the body, the killer prevents.
So the reason that is because the spring, but the underside, it was totally. It's because that side, since it was facing.
Of course it didn't get dirty.
Skull!
No, it's wrong.
Because the blood.
Actually, one side being clean is pretty strange if you think about it. Because the blood wasn't dry before the body got blown up, right? Byakuya said it himself. Not to touch it, or you might get some on you. If you put a tarp on a body in that state, it absolutely would have gotten blood on it.
Well, maybe the culprit washed it, so nobody would know they used it.
If they had, they would have washed both sides. Just washing the one side wouldn't hide anything.
Oh, yeah, true.
More than that, what if the very blood we saw on the body was meant as a kind of camouflage?
Huh? The blood was camouflage?
What if, after the killer used the tarp to avoid the sprinklers, they then covered the body in blood that didn't belong to the victim?
You mean someone else's blood? Where would they get something like that?
I know! They could have grabbed some of the blood packs from the nurse's office. That's what Hifumi did, right? When he pretended to be dead?
No, that's not what happened this time. The killer got the blood from right there in the garden.
Yep. We got the blood from right there in the garden, right? Which must mean... chicken coop chicken.
I got it!
Good name for a restaurant.
Could it have been chicken blood?
What? Chicken blood?
Chicken blood.
When I checked the chicken coop before the murder, there were 5 chickens.
Chicken. Oh,
But
chicken.
after the murder, there were only 4.
So, you're saying someone killed a chicken and then covered the body with its blood?
Yep.
Man, that's messed up.
Killing a living thing just to do something like that is awful. They should have at least eaten it.
I wonder if the killer had to get the blood from the scene so they wouldn't be spotted walking around. Anyway, there's no denying that a chicken went missing, which provides a basis for my theory.
Perhaps, but even so, there's one thing that still doesn't make sense.
What's that?
You said the culprit used the tarp to avoid the water and then covered the body in blood, right? But if that's the case, then the blood should have soaked into the ground around the body. But that's not what we saw. Only the victim's clothing had blood on it. The ground was completely clean.
I have to agree, that certainly is strange. Maybe they didn't apply the blood at the scene. Maybe they covered the coat in blood beforehand.
They covered it beforehand?
When you discovered the body, was it wearing the coat like you normally would?
I think so.
No?
Wait, no. The head was through the neck hole, but the arms weren't in the sleeves.
It was also, like, not...
Then that settles it.
Sorry, I'm having a tough time keeping up. What settles what?
Here's what happened. The murder took place before the sprinklers went off, but the body didn't get wet because the killer covered it with the tarp. Then, later, at the same time the killer was gathering up the tarp, they pulled the coat over the body. The coat they'd already covered in blood. This series of cover-ups was meant to disguise the actual time the murder occurred. They wanted us to think the murder happened sometime after the sprinklers had gone off, at 7:30.
If that's actually what took place, it certainly becomes possible that the murder happened earlier.
But to pull all that off, wouldn't they have had to go back to the garden after the sprinklers turned off?
That actually wouldn't have been all that difficult.
Huh?
They already had the coat ready, so they just had to grab the tarp and pull the coat over the body. They'd be done in no time.
Maybe. But still.
Hina, after you met up with Mikoto in the dining hall, did you two stay together from that point on?
Oh,
Yeah.
no. I headed off to the gym, and Mikoto didn't show up till later.
Huh?
Then you had plenty of time to spare, wouldn't you say?
That's not...
Don't bother saying it's not possible.
We literally went with her.
I must admit, Kyoko's reasoning is sound. Mikoto's alibi is inadequate.
And the suspicion falls back on me again. But why? Why is Kyoko trying to entrap me? I don't understand. This guy's dead body.
Well then, it looks like we're back to square one. Mikoto's alibi is no good, so once again, our suspects are him and Kyoko.
For serious, man? Which one of them did it? Hey, why don't we let luck decide? Let's flip a coin. 50-50 odds.
Wow.
See? Pretty good idea, right?
No, not that. I just remembered something super serious.
Just stand there. Out with it.
You know that knife we found all black and burnt?
The one we found stuck in the body before it exploded, right?
Oh, that's Hina. No, you're
According
gonna
to
bring
the
him down
Monokuma
too.
file, the knife went all the way through, from front to back.
Yeah, that doesn't matter.
So, what about it?
I'm pretty sure I'd seen that knife somewhere before. That's
no,
what I thought
Hina,
when I first saw
no.
it. I just remembered.
Now that we have the knife, what are we gonna do with it? We can't let Toko keep it, that's for sure. We don't know what she might do. I don't want it anyway. So what to do? Why don't you hang on to it, Mikoto? Huh, me?
It's the knife we gave to Mikoto?
You don't seem surprised. You must have noticed earlier.
Yeah. Kinda.
Then why did you hide that fact?
It's not that I hid it. It's
It's just... I couldn't be sure of what actually happened last night. I thought maybe I really did kill her.
Suspicious! Very suspicious indeed. The knife we found stuck in the body came from Mikoto. Now I'm totally convinced he did it. 12,000% convinced.
Wow. Considering everything up till now, I should be able to make it clear. I have to prove that I didn't murder anyone. I'm not the killer. Oh, but are you really? So the body exploded. Body analysis. Fragments near the dead body.
The knife we found lodged in the dead body.
It's the same one we gave to Mikoto.
It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, and...
That seals it! Just because I had the knife that automatically makes me the killer?
Well, getting stabbed is what killed her, right? So there's no question. You took that knife of yours and killed her with it.
What a horrible man you are, Mikoto.
But it never said it killed it, did it? We've already established the coat was put on the body after the tarp was removed. Which means the knife was thrust through the coat into the body.
The knife we found, it's the same one. It really is, isn't it? I was afraid of that.
If he did have that knife before, that seals it.
Just because I had the knife, that automatically...
Well, getting stabbed is what...
Just
No,
got it
it's
right.
wrong.
Boom.
Wait, hold on. The stab wound isn't what killed Mukuro. That should be clear from the description of the cover-up we just heard.
Lies! We never talked about what killed her!
No, don't you remember? The killer covered the dead body with the tarp, and then put the bloody coat on it, right? In other words, the victim never wore that blood-stained coat until after they were dead.
Okay, fine. So what?
So, when we discovered the body, the knife had been thrust through the coat along with the body. Meaning, if she wasn't stabbed until the coat was put on, and she was already dead at that point, obviously the stab wound isn't what killed her.
Maybe you stabbed her twice. Once to kill her and once to cover it up.
The victim was stabbed twice in the same spot? No, there's no way that's possible. The exact condition of the body was written down for everyone to see. Monokuma file.
I got it!
Yeah,
The Monokuma file clearly states that there was only one stab wound.
Oh yeah, it sure did. Totally forgot about that.
Oh, can you just shut up?
It was just another piece of camouflage set up by the true killer. They probably stabbed her to draw attention away from what actually killed her.
What is it? She killed her.
Exploding the body afterward was probably meant to do the same thing. The explosion severely damaged the body, making it impossible to know what really killed her. It was all the killer's attempt to destroy all evidence of their crime.
So they wanted us to notice the stab wound and then detonated the body afterward. They meant for us to latch onto the knife as the cause of death, then destroy any evidence proving otherwise.
Oh, hey, I have a question. It kind of goes back to the beginning, but what's the deal with that explosion anyway? Why'd the body just blow up all of a sudden like that?
If you bothered to put that lump of gray matter between your ears to use, you'd know the answer.
Well, if you're so smart, just tell me.
I'll tell you. I bet some unknown quantum particle caused atomic level spontaneous combustion!
I might be dumb, but even I'm not dumb enough to believe that.
Go ahead, Mikoto. Tell her or we won't make any headway on this.
Because you don't know. There's only one explanation I can think of for the explosion, which kind of doesn't make sense. When did the bomb... When did the bomb get up there? Because they dismantled Monokuma, right? Then they went up to the headmaster's room, and then they went straight to the garden. So at what point could the bomb have been taken from the gym to the body? That person would have had to have passed them on the 4th floor. They would have had to have passed them.
I got it! After the explosion, we found a tiny fragment of something on the ground near the body, right? That fragment reveals the cause of the explosion.
Huh? You know, I feel like I've seen something like it somewhere before.
Unless this is a different bomb. The other bomb was just taken away, and this was a totally different bomb, not the one in the gym. That's the only way it makes sense.
That's only natural. Because, of course, we saw the same thing when we dismantled Monokuma. It's part of a bomb.
Oh! Then the explosion was because of the Monokuma bomb.
Anyway, the culprit's motive is becoming more and more obvious by the minute. They wanted the knife wound to look like the fatal injury so that we'd suspect Mikoto. And the only one who would benefit from that is the only other possible suspect. You, Kyoko.
Hold on a second, Byakuya.
What's the problem?
Well, I just feel like we need to think this through. We still don't know what actually killed the victim.
That's true. It's definitely bugging me. What really killed her?
Fine. I have no problem with that. Let us continue the debate. It won't change the facts of the case regardless.
It will. We need to determine what ultimately killed the victim. I need to concentrate. Concentrate with this freaking groovy music. Monokuma File 5, right?
Then shall we continue the debate?
The victim's fatal injury has...
The explosion didn't kill...
Well, yeah.
And it wasn't even...
Oh yeah. That's
I studied this in the first
There was
movie.
evidence that showed she was hit on the...
And more than that, the victim had suffered countless wounds across her Then shall we continue?
The victim's fatal injury has yet to be determined.
There we go. Whoa, got it. I wasn't confident about any of that.
Mukuro died because of the blow to the back of the head she suffered.
What about the wounds all over the rest of her body?
They were
The
days old.
Monokuma file makes it clear that those weren't fresh wounds.
Oh yeah, good point. If they were old, I guess they don't really matter.
Okay, then we're safe in assuming the blow to the back of her head is what killed her.
But then, what was the murder weapon?
The Monokuma file says she was hit with a blunt object, about as thick as a metal pipe.
Oh, I bet it was the pickaxe!
Jesus Christ.
How is that even possible? If you hit someone with that, it'd cave their skull in completely.
Exactly.
Well, maybe they held it the other way and hit her with the handle.
No way! The balance would be all off. You wouldn't be able to swing it with any kind of power. I wouldn't mind testing it on you if you want.
No thanks. I bet you just hit me with the metal end and call it an accident.
I'd love to scoop out
out that nasty brain of yours, throw it on the ground and spit on it.
Christ, Toko.
I feel the same way. Looks like we're on the same page this time.
Wow.
Seriously?
We want to figure out what killed her, right? It just so happens we already know.
Yep.
We already know? I knew we could count on you, Master.
It's only because of me we found out.
So what
actually.
was it?
Go ahead and tell them, Mikoto. Surely you've deduced the real murder weapon?
Or maybe you haven't. You don't know any of this. Because you keep asking me. Titanium arrow.
I got it! Mukuro was hit in the back of the head with something. And that's what
Oh my
killed
god.
her.
Yeah, very good, Mikoto. All that was already said.
And that something was the titanium arrow we found in the locker in the dojo.
Arrow. That's what the culprit attacked Mukuro with?
Indeed. There's no doubt about it.
Are you sure? That sounds kind of weird. Hey! How dare you backtalk, Master? You have no right! I'm not backtalking anything. I'm just saying what I think.
I don't blame Hina for doubting, because there's one more thing about that weapon. One more secret. Okay. Bloody duct tape, oh, blocky titanium arrows.
The titanium arrow. It was in the dojo locker. I have no doubt that.
Are you sure?
You don't sound convinced.
Because in the it said the weapon must have been about as thick as a metal. It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
Oh!
To Master, you have no right!
Titanium, it was in the dojo. I have no doubt.
Are you sure?
You don't sound
It said the weapon must have been about as... It seems like an arrow would just be too thin.
Oh yeah, got it, boy! It's not wrong, it's actually right, but...
You're right. Just the one arrow would have been too weak. That's why the killer used another weapon.
Another
No.
weapon?
Where the Christ is?
Inside the dojo locker, we also found a balled up wad of duct tape. The killer probably used this duct tape to bind multiple arrows together. Bundling them together using the duct tape would easily create a single weapon as thick as a pipe. And that's exactly what the killer did.
It's similar to Aesop's fable about the bundle of sticks. One stick is weak, but put them together, and they become strong. It's meant to teach cooperation.
That's harsh.
How is it harsh? Are you even listening?
Anyway,
he wasn't.
that explains the murder weapon. As for who the culprit is that stashed the weapon in the dojo locker, it was you, Kyoko.
I've never been to the dojo.
No, that's a lie.
Oh no, you absolutely have.
How can you say that with such confidence?
Because we have proof, of course. Don't we, Mikoto?
I don't know, do we? Do we not? Yeah.
What's the matter? Surely you don't intend to protect a murderer. You know what will happen if you do, don't you? If you cover for the culprit, there's only one thing that can lead to the death of us all. Remember?
Of course I remember.
Then show us. Show everyone the evidence that proves Kyoko went to the dojo.
I have evidence? Evidence that Kyoko went to the dojo. It must be next to the dojo locker. Duh. Wooden blocky.
I got it! The one thing that proves Kyoko was in the dojo is right here. The key to the dojo locker.
And how does that prove anything?
Because I found it in your room.
It was in my room?
But she wouldn't have had access to her room.
Don't bother trying to play dumb. That key is just the final piece of the puzzle. Your non-existent alibi, your clear motive, your attempts to frame Mikoto for the crime. This all proves that you are the true culprit.
You hold on a second.
Not this again. You really are dead set on defending her, aren't you?
No, it's not that I want to defend her. It's just there's one more thing I need to ask her. Kyoko, I want you to tell me something. Last night, you were in my room, weren't you? Why? What were you doing there? That's what I need to know.
Let's see if she'll answer.
I was just protecting you.
And that's the truth.
What?
She was protecting me? Then does that mean she knew I was being attacked? And she came to my rescue? Could that be when... Which would mean that Kyoko... She killed someone for me?
That's enough. The time for idle chatter is over. A verdict is close at hand.
Wait. I'm warning you. Don't make this mistake. I'm not the killer.
I knew you were stubborn, but this is just getting ridiculous.
You're ridiculous.
Really? But you should know better than anyone I didn't do it. Can you tell me I'm wrong?
No.
Should know.
Because you had her key. Byakuya should know better than anyone? What does that mean? When the body was found.
Those words you just spoke.
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya!
What are you...
Master would never hide something.
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You
Yep.
stated a theory, or you said I hid the evidence of my crime in the dojo and then left the locker key in my own room. Correct? But could I really have done that?
Wait, Kyoko gave her a room key to Byakuya, right? Which would mean...
Those words you just spoke. What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not the killer. You should understand that more than anyone here.
Byakuya! What are you...
Master would never hide something.
There's proof that you aren't the culprit. Is that what you're saying?
You said I hid and then left the locker. Could I really have done that?
Right, I think it's actually the last one.
Exactly. I'm not, but you should understand.
Byakuya!
Master would never.
There's proof that you... Is that what you're...
You said I hid the evidence and then left the locker key in my own room. But could I really have done that?
She mentions her own room.
Those words
That's what I'm
you
going
just-
with.
Exactly. I'm not, but you should understand.
Byakuya!
Master would never.
There's proof that you... Is that what you're...
You said I hid the evidence and then left the locker key in my own room. Correct. But could I really have done that?
Those words you just spoke. What do you mean?
Exactly what I said. I'm not, but you should understand that.
Byakuya!
What are you, Master would never hide something.
There's proof that you aren't the culprit.
Yes!
No, that's wrong!
If I'm right, Kyoko wouldn't have been able to get into her room.
Huh? Why not?
Because she had given her room key to Byakuya.
Wait a minute, she has that other Monokuma key. Monokuma.
I see. So that's what you meant. And if I had the key to your room...
Then obviously I had no way of getting in. Without my room key, I couldn't have possibly put the locker key in there myself. Am I wrong?
It would appear not.
Then you're finally starting to understand.
So pointing to you, Mikoto, no, that's actually not true. There is a clear contradiction in what Kyoko just told us, an obvious lie. But this just isn't like her. Try and save herself with such a desperate lie? Does she really feel threatened because she's the killer? Or is it something else? Was there some deeper meaning hidden in what Kyoko said earlier? You vote for me, and I die here. The mystery of the school will stay hidden forever, which is why I can't let that happen. This is a trap the Mastermind has laid for us. The Mastermind's trap. The Mastermind is trying to trap Kyoko? But what if that's not really true? What can I do? What should I do? What should I... The Mastermind's trap. The victim was Mukuro, and Kyoko killed her? What does Kyoko really know? What am I supposed to do? Kyoko's lie. I'm the only one who knows it's a lie. I'm the only one who can expose this. But who can I trust? What am I supposed to do? The Mastermind's trap. My god. Yeah. Danger avoiding it. What do I do? I have to decide right here and now whether or not to expose Kyoko's life. What the hell is run away? Run away. No, run away isn't gonna stop anything. Oh my god. Let it go. I made my decision. I have to believe in Kyoko. There's no way she would kill someone. There has to be some secret here. Something that has to do with the Mesomai's trap that Kyoko mentioned.
Does no one have a rebuttal? Have you decided to accept her assertion as fact? I see. So you still refuse to accept it. I suppose we have to admit that Kyoko didn't put the locker key in her room. That it was someone else.
But who else could it have been?
I mean, Byakuya had a room key, right?
You! What are you trying to imply?
He's
Of
right.
course, I have an alibi. From nighttime on, I was with you guys the entire time. I couldn't possibly have killed anyone, or put the key in Kyoko's room.
True.
Someone had to put the key in there.
There's only one other possibility I can think of. Someone could have had the key on them, then once they arrived at the scene, pretended to find it there.
Yep. That was obvious.
Had to be Mikoto, right?
I don't see any other option.
Wait a second. You've got it all wrong. Let's think about it one more time. There's gotta be a hidden side to this case.
There is.
A hidden side?
First of all, there's something off about this entire trial. You all see it, don't you? Mukuro, who we didn't even know existed, suddenly shows up dead. And then we're thrown into a trial. And Kyoko even said, it's a trap the mastermind set for us. So that's why this has to be...
Okay, time's up!
Oh, wow.
Time's up! Class trial's all over! Everyone can stop talking now!
What? Time's up?
What do you mean time's up? There's no time's up. Since when have we...
It's
Exactly.
because you were late, so we had to push back the start time. So then, it's time for voting time, okay? Everyone, please vote using the lever in front of you!
Voting time?
Oh boy. Did we take too long? A. Oh my god. All A's. What? No coins. Yeah, coins. All A's. And can you get F's?
Now, who will be chosen as the blackened?
Not
Will
from
you make the
concentrate.
right choice
We didn't use
or the
concentrate once.
dreadfully wrong one?
Hey, hold on!
What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Oh boy. Who is found guilty? It's Mikoto Oh boy, main character time is over. What? You think I'm the killer? Sorry, man.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. It's all your fault. Everyone, you're wrong. You got it all wrong. I didn't do it.
Yes, indeed.
Good job, everyone. Good job?
Yep.
Yeah, they got it right. No, I'm not. I know that's not true. None of this makes any sense. This whole trial doesn't make any sense.
Hey!
It makes perfect sense.
Shing!
It's same as always. It's just like all other class trials. And I'm gonna end it the same way.
Chills,
It's time for your heart-pounding, positively thrilling punishment. Wait, why do I... Kyoko!
I don't expect you to forgive me. I know this is all my fault.
Kyoko!
Let's give it everything we've got! It's punishment time!
This is cool. Just the punishment they came up with are freaking wacky as hell. But what happens in a bit is so cool. One last slap. One last pushback. After school lesson. Oh, here we go, baby! Like, you'd be pissing and shitting yourself. Yeah, you probably vomit and everything. Hello, baby! There's no way you're gonna get away with that. Boom! And he's just falling there, and he's still in a perfect seating position. Huh? What is this? What's going on? Hey, what's this? Yeah, it had to be.
This is
Alter ego? Alter ego? Is this some stupid virus from a stupid guy? He must have planted it when he invaded my network. Damn it all to hell, I don't believe this.
It would seem...
It seems you finally made a miscalculation. No, you miscalculated from the very beginning.
What the heck?
What was that?
In other words...
What I'm saying is you shouldn't have underestimated us. Why are you talking like you've already won? I barely felt a thing. It was a pinch, an itch. The stupid virus is gone now. Got it? And so is Mikoto. Maybe I didn't get to smash him flat, but you're never gonna see him again. Twice away in a garbage-strewn piss. In a way, that's an even better special punishment. But it's still not enough. I'm still not satisfied. I'm still gonna bring despair to the rest of you. Bring despair to the entire world. Yeah, no. Is he gone? Hey, Kyoko, what's the meaning of all this? What the hell is going on?
Calm down.
It's okay. We're not the ones being trapped this time. Huh?
In other words...
Now it's the mastermind that's ensnared.
what did you
What
say?
are you talking about?
So...
You'll understand soon enough. Very soon indeed. The massive high school towers over all the other buildings in this bustling urban area. It's like the school stands at the center of the entire world. My god, we're about to start the game. Hope Speak Academy. It brings in top students from every field imaginable. Government-funded school privilege. They say that if you come here and manage to graduate, you'll be set for life. With hundreds of years of tradition, it sends the cream of the crop into the workforce every year. It was built to raise hope in the nation's future, which makes Hope's Peak a pretty fitting name. There are two things you need to attend this school. One, you have to already be attending high school. Two, you have to be the very best at what you do. No ordinary student could enroll here. The only way in is if you're scouted by the school itself. And standing there at the gate of the ultimate school filled with the ultimate students was me. Oh damn, this is happening faster. What? Where am I? I woke up with my head resting on top of a hard wooden desk. My body felt heavy. It wouldn't be weird for me to zonk off in the middle of some boring class or whatever, but what was I doing asleep here just now? It wasn't any classroom I'd ever been in before. What the heck is going on? Ugh. Finally. I could finally feel my mind and body start to come back together again, and then I was awake. Or was this just another dream? A dream inside a hopeless nightmare? No, this isn't a dream. I could tell because the stench invading my nostrils was too powerful for a dream. What an awful smell. I was in a vast dark cavern with the barest hint of light seeping in. Trash was piled high all across the area. This must be some kind of underground garbage pit. A heck of a situation to find myself in. But that was just the beginning of my problems. Was I going to be stuck in there till I wasted away and died? No, I can't let that happen. Not after what my good friend went through to save me. I remembered all too well what had happened. Alter Ego saved me, and he used up the last bit of his strength to do it. That's still Chihiro, isn't it? So I can't give up now. For myself and for my friend. And with that, my pursuit of survival began. First up was to start looking for a way out of there. Yo. It's like... Is that supposed to be light coming in? Or like see-through curtain-ish material? That's a rocket and a tank. I don't think too much about what I'm seeing down here. Oh, there's a tank. Oh. Is that an airplane? How does something like that wind up in the school's garbage pit? It's an airplane again, isn't it? Yeah. Alright, door, I guess. Rattle, rattle. It's locked. Rattle, rattle. No matter how many times I pushed or pulled or kicked at it, it didn't budge. Getting out of here isn't going to be that easy. Well, if I'm not getting out of here anytime soon, I decided to look around for some food. Yeesh. See, there's plenty of food here, but it's all rotten. But that was pointless too. Next, I searched for some water. How can I be sure which liquids I can drink and which ones are an all-around bad idea? Again, pointless. I feel like I'm blocked in on all sides. But that's still not enough reason to give up, because I'm still alive. As long as I'm alive, I'll never give up. After making that proud declaration, the next thing I decided to do was go to sleep. My sleep was deep and uninterrupted. That was my only way to preserve what little strength I had left after not being able to eat or drink. I can't be sure, but I think at least a full day had to have passed. And all I did was sleep and sleep. It was like I was waiting for some kind of sign to come falling out of the sky. However, what fell from the sky wasn't a sign. Not exactly. Crunch! What the? The strange sound pierced my silent isolation, jarring me awake. As I watched, the pile of garbage just jostled and formed an odd shape. Did something fall down over there? Something fell from up above. What could it have been? Did a giant piece of trash fall down here? I carefully stretched my hand out toward whatever it was that had tumbled down here with me.
Just a second.
It's a wild kiri-kiri! A giant piece of trash? Rude. Before she even emerged from the pile of garbage, I knew who it was.
It smells awful.
That's because it is awful. Kyoko!
Indeed.
You look like you're doing better than I expected. What are you doing here? Isn't that obvious? I'm here to help you. I'm glad to hear that, Kyoko. You've got a bit of garbage in here. She gave her head a quick, sharp shake to get rid of the trash, then faced me again. First, I have something for you. Go ahead and eat. We can talk once you're finished. Thank you. I snatched the bread and water that she was holding out for me. Within seconds, it was in my mouth, making its way toward my stomach. Whew, that really hit the spot. Now I've got all the energy I need to keep going. So you still haven't given up then? Of course not. After all, the fact that I can keep going forward is all that I'm good at. Well, that's not such a bad thing to be good at. Well, we're gonna leave it here. So, let me ask, what do you guys think is going on with the mastermind? He was so afraid that he had to put Mikoto in the punishment. Said he did it. We all know Mikoto didn't do it. We all know Mikoto was in bed, and Kyoko knows it too. So what's going on? What's been going on since we were down the trash chute as well for a whole day? A lot of things could have happened. Well, I guess we will find out next time. But of course, tell me what you think in the comments. Let's have a little chatty-watty. That's it from me, BDB. I will see you later.